Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger and it's patch day. So they have released the full balance patch for Dragon Ball FighterZ and the patch will go live on May the 9th. So there is a bunch of stuff here. If you're not familiar with Arc System Works patches, there's going to be a lot of potentially unclear language in here. But what we're going to do here is start with the general and system level stuff and then work towards the character specific stuff. Spoiler, all the top tiers are still top tier. And except for Android 16 who got destroyed, and yeah, I'm so not happy with that, because he's the only one who got crippled with the nerf hammer and no one else did. But anyways, salt aside, let's get right to the generalized balance patches. And once again, I'll just be going over the generalized patch notes and then the character patch notes. There will be timestamps for everything, so feel free to use those. So first up, we have two brand new modes. There will be the FighterZ Cup, a monthly competition where players can fight and collect points for the respective Z Union. And if you are a real man, like I am, then your Z Union says big old Nappa right here. Now, if you are scared to join Nappa Union, I understand. But if you want to be on the winning side, that's this union to join, to be sure. And on top of that, Party Battle, co-op fights where 3 players can join forces to defeat fearsome bosses. So this is kind of like a raid battle. So that might be what's down here, because this area has still been empty since launch. So we'll see how this area kind of pans out. Oh, hello, friends. So we'll see how that whole thing pans out, and I assume it'll go down there. Now, the replay channel, as with every patch, will kill your current replay data. So if you're watching this before the patch hits, if there's any matches you want to save, now's the time, because they will not work after the patch hits. And also a bug fix here for the combo challenges. Now, training mode. There's been a number of changes here, and they're basically all just bug fixes. So an issue where the training dummy doesn't guard and unguard properly with the enemy settings. When it's set to guard first only, that's one I've actually run into quite a bit, so I'm happy that one's fixed. Fixed an issue where the training dummy does not properly play back movements that are recorded in advance using the Ginyu body change after a Dragon Rush. That one's a little more esoteric, but yeah, I guess if you're a Ginyu main, maybe that was a bit frustrating to you. Fixed an issue that the combo damage is not displayed when an attack is counteracted by an armor move. The adjustment is also made to prevent immediate health recovery when an attack is counteracted by an armor move. Not one I ever really ran into, but interesting to see anyways. Fix an issue with OK is displayed in the assist character icons even when they are crossed out, and the assist character, the assist cooldown setting is set to quick recovery. This is also one I've run into. Fix an issue where the training dummy fails to recover its health with some specific unconnected strings of moves. Fix an issue where the training dummy fails to guard in some cases even when the guard follow-ups option is selected. This is one I've run into a lot, so I'm very happy this is fixed. Self-damaging moves will no longer affect the combo damage displayed, and fixed an issue where the training dummy fails to guard attacks with some specific strings when the guard setting is set to guard follow-ups. Also one I've run into a lot. So overall, just makes training mode a lot more sharp than it currently is, and I'm very happy to see all this stuff. So for other patch notes, you might not think these are so important, you know, just being listed as others, but some of these are actually a fairly big deal. The first one here, though, is a classic case of Arc System patch notes, because I don't even know what it means. So fixed an issue where some characters don't instantly transition to their down motion, but keeps performing their super moves until the end of the case of the character loses all of its health by an opponent's move that has the property to lock down the enemy. I don't begin to know what this means. So if you do know what this means, please post in the comments below, but I don't even have a clue. Now, fix an issue where the character reacts and turns to an opponent after a advantage attack while they're performing certain special moves or super attacks like Goku's Kamehameha. So, this is basically just an autocorrect fix. So, sometimes, despite you being on left, right, or whatever, the enemy should have missed, but instead they have autocorrected and kind of blast you in the face. That's exactly what this is. It's just a fix for that. Fix an issue where a character floats in the air for a short period when getting a sliding knockdown by a particular move such as Goku Black's Holy Light Grenade. So this is a bug fix that is. If you've ever seen, like in particular Goku Black's their moves, although it does work with other moves, if you've ever seen them slow fall out of a move, that's what this is. Depending on how you do your team supers and all that, it can actually screw up your combo, so this is a welcome fix to be sure. Fixed an issue where an assist characters fly high up in the air when they are forced to leave the screen by certain moves such as Goku Black's God Slicer. So just a quick bug fix here. Fix an issue where the player's character loses its ability to move properly when the player performs a reflect against some specific moves such as Android 16's Hell Flash. Now if you remember, this was about a month and a half ago maybe, or maybe 2 months ago on my channel, I actually showed this. This is basically a handcuff glitch where 16 can lock your character in place and you cannot move no matter what you do. So this is just a bug fix against that. Fixed an issue where a player's normal jumping heavy attack works the same way as it does in an auto combo finisher when an opponent's assist character leaves the screen when the player is performing a combo. So basically, my understanding of the way this is wording it is just sometimes you can get like your sliding knockdown when you're not supposed to. That's the way I'm reading this. I'm not actually aware of the situation this one has caused, so if you do know better than me, once again, post on the comments on this one. Fixed an issue where the scaling that should have been applied to a non-recovery frame to prevent a combo loop isn't applied when starting a combo with certain moves. So this one I had to reread quite a few times, but this is basically the, like the Android 21, some other characters, this is basically to fix their broken damage scaling on certain moves. So like Android 21, if you start a combo with her Ki Blast, you can basically touch a death straight from it, and it's not even that difficult. So this is to make sure the damage scaling is applied correctly, and to make sure, you know, we can't get like a, you know, near infinites with certain characters, like Beerus doing an infinite Ki Blast. You can just go da 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 forever and ever and ever after certain moves like this, and you just keep you looped till death. So this will fix that specifically, and that is a pretty big deal. Fixed an issue where a character slides horizontally with facing downwards when triggering Super Dash under specific conditions. So my understanding is you might sometimes see a character bug out while homing dashing and just facing downwards and just sliding into a corner. So that is my understanding of this, is just when they kind of glitch out and just go on the whole other end of the screen. Fixed an issue where certain voices aren't played in certain situations, just a quick bug fix there. Fixed KO voices, so the appropriate voices that are corresponding to certain characters will be played. Increase the duration of throw invincibility for both air and ground backdash, is a pretty big deal. So say if you're snap backed in, you will now be able to more easily backdash while if you're snap backed in, and then you'll be able to avoid incoming Dragon Rush. I know some people have complained like they make the correct read and they're still punished, so this should make this a little easier on the defender to avoid the obvious Dragon Rush mix-up when you are snap backed in. Made some adjustments to make it harder to execute Z Reflect for the second time in succession. Now, I hope to God this is what I think it is. Like sometimes it'll prevent like a mash for a second deflect versus a nerf, which is what I fear it is. I did make a previous video on how like certain characters like Cell, you need the double deflect to reliably get them off you. So I hope to God it just means sometimes it'll not give you an extra whiff deflect if you mash a little bit, versus like actually crippling you against characters with a lot of forward momentum. Fixed an issue where the invincibility of assist characters are not properly disabled when leaving the screen due to the main character getting hit. So basically, I think it make it a little bit easier to happy birthday someone, because it says here disabling invincibility, so it may be easier to catch them in the move along with the character you're hitting. And finally, fixed an issue where the player's main character is able to cancel moves to another move even when they are whiffing. In the case of the player's team's fireballs got reflected by an opponent's reflect or super dash. So as I understand, this is basically letting you not able to cancel into a special just because you got deflected and, like, you know, safely keeping your bases covered. So in this situation, say you did a basic Ki Blast, which you're normally allowed to special cancel on hit, you won't be able to special cancel it if the enemy super dashes through it, for example. So this is just to give a little more pizzazz to the offensive player who correctly guessed, you know, or correctly beat through your offense, so you don't get to special or super cancel just because the move quote-unquote hit, even though it was properly beaten. Now on to the character specifics, and some of these are just like quick bug fixes, so they don't warrant too much of an explanation. But for people who are a little more in depth, we'll just hop in the training mode and talk it over. So the first one is Goku, the Super Saiyan Goku. Fixed an issue where the dust effect for the Goku's Kamehameha and Warp Kamehameha continues to be displayed while the game is paused during an opponent's super attack. So I can't say this is something I personally ran into, so just a quick little bug fix. Now, Blue Vegeta, this one is going to get a little more substantive, so let's head into training mode for this one. Now, for Vegeta Blue. So first up here it says, fixed an issue where the Big Bang attack does not explode when blocked with an assist with the armor property. So basically, it's like Android 18, right? Normally this is supposed to explode when it makes contact with a character no matter what. So Android 6 or 18 that is, it would just kind of pass through. Fixed an issue where a player cannot perform a vanish move when Vegeta's Big Bang attack hits an armor property object such as Broly's anti-armor move. So normally when this move connects, you're supposed to be allowed to vanish cancel it. However, as it's written, I guess when it hits Broly's defensive anti-projectile move, you're not allowed to vanish cancel it. So that has been fixed. Modified the damage scaling of Vegeta's several Ki Blast moves to match with normal Ki Blast. Now I honestly got no idea what this means. So his basic Ki Blast scale normally. He does not have a multiple Ki Blast move like, you know, a Super Saiyan Vegeta does. That's yellow Vegeta. So I got no idea what this means, honestly. I'm not a Vegeta Blue main, so if there's like something I'm missing here, please post in the comments below. But as it stands, this one's a bit confuzzling to me. Modify the amount of damage done with the first attack of Vegeta's Niagara Pummel. So if you're not aware, he can actually hold the button to only do the first hit. Now, as it stands, there's basically zero reason to do so, and you might as well just let the super finish out as it stands. So I'm assuming this has to be buffed upwards, so this makes this a more attractive option. Now, just as Vegeta's on a scale of 1 to 10, that's kind of his dunk here. So it's easier now to grab an opponent and get follow-ups with assists. So I guess they're expanding the hitbox just so it's easier to get your grabs on, and hopefully get assist follow-ups as well. You fix an issue where the move sometimes hits his opponent even after the KO. Just a little bug fix there. And fix an issue where Vegeta's invincibility is disabled at the wrong time when executing his final flash attack. So I guess there must be a point here where invincibility is disabled and you can kind of smack him out of it. So that has been fixed and rectified. Now on to Lord Broly. So most of these are just kind of basic bug fixes here, but let's go through them. Fixed an issue where the energy ball goes up in the air when Broly's Gigantic Meteor, that's his level 3, is clash cancelled. I can't say I've seen that one, but I guess it would have been funny, but I guess that's going to go away. Fixed an issue where Broly's Jumping Heavy Attack does not clash cancel. Now it says clash cancel, I'm assuming when two hits connect with each other. Now I guess I can't say offhand I've seen it clash with other moves, but if not, then I'll just be a bug fix. Fix an issue where Powered Shell effects appear for a split second when he's KO'd. I can't say I've seen that one, but bug fix yet again. Fix an issue where the opponent wall bounces when a player hits the opponent with Broly's Gigantic Strike in the corner on the back. So yeah, this one here, sometimes if you do his anti-air grab, you can actually get them to like soft wall bounce off the corner, so that is a bug fix and that has now been squashed. Fix an issue where the hit count does not increase when hitting the opponent with Broly's Jump Heavy attack and the medium heavy versions of the Lariat. Now this one I don't understand. As you can see here, clear as day, that hit count's going up, and it's also not damage scaling, because it says here the jab did 400, so that does 500, so I'm not sure what they mean by that here, because the hit count of both obviously increases, and the damage scaling works as normal, so I'm not sure what they mean unless it's another mechanic they're talking about. Match the number time Broly's jumping down heavy attack and endure hits with other moves to allow it to an opponent to counter with a crouching heavy. So yeah, as it stands, if you do normal crouch heavy beat jumps, Broly's down heavy here often would just armor through it. So it's kind of more in line with the fact that his other jumping moves can be down heavied even with the armor. So it's in line with that. Fix an issue where his power shell disappears when hit by certain ranged attacks. So I'm not, they don't specify which one's which, but yeah, certain moves which you feel like this move should beat does not beat. So hopefully it'll be more unified with that. Fix an issue where Broly is able to cancel into a super attack that the moment he catches an opponent with his Eraser Blow, the medium and heavy versions of Lariat Express, and Gigantic Launch, Gigantic Strike. So I've seen some videos on this, but yeah, basically you can super cancel way earlier than you think you can with some of these moves and causes some bugged out states. So that's just a bug fix for that. And fixed an issue where Broly's barrier is out of sync when canceling into Sparking Blast Frame 1 at the start of a super dash. I can't say I've seen that one, but once again, just a universal bug fix on that. So all in all, Broly's in basically the same place he was before, and I was terrified he was going to get nerfed, so I'm happy enough for it. Now for Beerus. Fixed an issue where Beerus' standing unique attack, jumping unique attack, and spheres of destruction disappear before they destroy what's in the background when reflected. So that's just a visual change as far as I can tell. Fixed an issue where the lower of the two energy balls created by Beerus' heavy sphere of destruction, so that's these guys right here, cannot be repelled by Beerus' attacks when it bounced back without hitting an opponent. So the lower of the two balls can be a little wonky, so it's just a bug fix for that. Fixed an issue where Beerus is able to keep shooting ki blasts, that's the Beerus Pseudo Infinite if you watch the video for that, without an end after hitting an opponent with his Beerus Ball in a certain way. So if you did watch the Beerus Pseudo Infinite video, this is the end to that, just so you know. Fix an issue where the Sphere of Destruction keeps flashing and making sounds when it takes hits during a pause. I can't say I've seen that, but that sounds kind of funny. So goodbye to that, I guess. And reduce the recovery frame of Beerus' down medium attack to match with other moves. So this is a slight buff, so he'll recover a bit quicker after the sweep. Now, I don't know how it's going to change the plus on block, negative on block, kind of, you know, the advantage-disadvantage situation of the move. But reduced recovery is always a good thing, so this is basically a slight buff to the slide. For Tien, fixed an issue where the character displays that observed when Tien hits an opponent who is positioned at the backside of Tien. I honestly don't even know what this means. Remember when I said earlier about Arc System patch language being a bit odd sometimes? Well, here ya go. Next up here, Krillin. Now Krillin's Z assist will always throw a rock unless the player is inputting left when he appears on the screen. This is actually a big buff for Krillin. This is actually a kind of a big deal. Because, like, obviously the Senzu Bean's cool and all, but it wasn't reliable which one you got. So if you just cornered the guy and you want to toss a rock for, like, Okazame or something on their wake up, now you'll always get the rock unless you ask for the Senzu Bean. So if you play around with the Senzu Bean, this is, is still an option for you, but now you can choose to always get the rock when you want to. And this is actually a super big deal for him, and makes his assist a lot more viable. And on top of that, increase the duration of the hit stun and the time an opponent isn't able to recover for Krillin's assist. So the assist is just straight up better on top of that. So yeah, this is overall, I know it doesn't seem like much, but this is actually a pretty big buff for Krillin, and his assist is so much more viable now. Now for Lord Nappa. I was expecting the world and I instead got, well, I didn't get the world now, did I? So adjusted the knockback distance of an opponent for Nappa's jumping down heavy attack, that's this guy, is more likely to hit twice. Now this one I'm pretty happy with, just because this move is prone to being a bit wonky, and you'll sometimes only get one hit, and especially in the middle of combos, that can be very frustrating as it might screw up your whole combo. Now, this one makes no sense to me, because it says mitigated the damage scaling of Nappa's 2 bad attack, that's this guy right here, to balance out with other invincible moves. Here's the thing, this move is not invincible. Like, it isn't. It has some armor later on in the frames, but this move is not invincible. Like, I just got countered out of it right there. I'm getting counter hit out of it. You cannot get counter hit out of an invincible move. So, I have no idea what they're talking about here. Now, my only hope is they're going to make this move invincible, but I severely doubt that. So, once thing, I just... either the patch note is wrong, which I'm assuming, or they're trying to make this move invincible, and then the wording is incredibly unclear on that. But yeah, this move is in no way, shape, or form invincible, so I do not know why they're using that language there. And adjusted the damage scaling of Cyberman's explosive attacks. So the old Cyberman, if you're not aware, for the regular versions here, the third hit will be an explosion. And it currently does 1,000 damage. I hope to God it means more damage, because it certainly can't be much less, because it's not very threatening at all. So here's hoping on that. For Yamcha, fixed an issue with the appearances when a player defeats the last character with an opponent with Yamcha's ultimate Wolfang Fist. This maybe is a visual glitch, this one is one I'm not aware of. I was kind of hoping Yamcha would get a little love balance-wise, but maybe next patch? Moving on to Ginyu, fix an issue where the assist character is displayed while performing Ginyu's body change, and fix an issue where Ginyu's jumping heavy attack can put an opponent into a sliding knockdown state with different timing than the other characters. So I'm not sure if this was, again, you could do it higher or lower than some other people, but I guess it's just being normalized with the rest of the cast. Now Hit, another character I could have sworn maybe they got a little bit of buffs, but maybe not. Fixed an issue where the assist characters remain on screen. In the case of hits, I keep improving hits and opponent, oh god, hits, while the characters are still in their hit stun. So despite saying the word hit too many times, yeah, this is just basically a bug fix. Now on to Frieza. So Frieza was one of the characters we knew was getting buffed ahead of time. Although the buffs are not quite as, you know, grandiose as I thought they might be. But still, let's go on here. So fix an issue where Frieza's Death Saucer does not vanish after clashing with Broly's Power Shell. So the move is supposed to mitigate all projectiles, but the Death Saucer kept on going anyways, you know, which kind of destroyed the point of the move, so it's acting as intended. Extended the inner part of the hitbox for Frieza's Crouching Heavy. So this is one of the best normals in the game, bar none. And it says, I'm not sure what it means by the inner part of the hitbox, because, you know, it can still hit up close and all that. But any extension of the hitbox to one of the already best moves in the game is still, you know, it's definitely a big feather in the cap. Fix an issue where damage scaling isn't properly processed when executing his You Might Not Survive This Time move. That's the big old death ball here. So there was a lot of touch death combos where you could like start with this move specifically, so those are going the way of the dinosaur. Fix an issue where the Death Saucer flies on the wrong path once it's clashed. Fix an issue where you must die by my hand, that's his level 3 where he's on the ground. Cannot be executed when getting hard knocked down by certain moves. And adjusted the damage and the damage scaling of his big ball here. So since he is supposed to be a projectile character, I'm assuming this is going to be adjusted upwards, because for the fact that he's supposed to be, you know, zoning quote-unquote character, his damage is very unimpressive on this, and it should be better than other characters, especially because the move itself is not amazing. For Piccolo, fix an issue where Piccolo's assist does not fire the energy blast when used right after a super attack. So this is a bug fix. Yeah, I've actually seen that a couple times, where it just kind of glitches out and doesn't show up. Also, fix an issue where the player cannot block Piccolo's assist unless the player is inputting the direction away from the opponent when the opponent switches the positioning of the player's main character and the opponent's main character while Piccolo's assist homing energy blast is still on the screen. Oh my god, the wording in some of these patches here. But yeah, basically, you don't have to worry about cross-up protection from Piccolo's assist. Now, moving on to Android 18, modified the light version of Android 18's back grapple so that hit count increases when an opponent is smashed to the ground, and also modified the damage value and damage scaling in accordance with the above modification. So this is just basically a change, although the fact that they're changing around damage values and all that, I don't think that's going to be a buff, so it actually might be a tiny nerf, we'll see. But yeah, once again, this is another character I thought would get more changes, but instead it's just a light grapple, so yeah, that's where we're at with that. Oh, 16, my sweet child, what on earth did they do to you? So this is the only character in the whole patch where he is just straight up nerfed and way worse than he was before. No one else got hit like 16, which is a damn shame, because I'm not opposed to people getting hit, but since he's the only one, this is a stinker to me. So first up here, now players are able to recover from the ground when hit by 16's Dynamite Driver, and they specifically must mean the grounded light version, which is a true hard knockdown. So any other version of the move, when you do it, you get to recover just like anyone else. So he is no longer able to do this. So this was kind of the core of his game. You basically get like a mix-up afterwards, and the opponent, for the most part, has to groove on it, and so they get to recover just like anything else. And he's got nothing else to make up for it. So me personally, I did put him on top tier before. I gotta say now, without that, he is probably mid at best, maybe low mid, because that was the game plan. It's a super big bummer now to me. Like I said, this is me being, you know, my emotionals are speaking up here, as I am an Android 16 main, but it sucks to see him nerfed so badly when someone like Cell and Kid Buu and all get off completely scot-free, and it's just a bummer. Now that said, he does have one other change. So remove the invincibility to range attacks from Android 16 standing heavy, jumping heavy, and crouching heavy, and I don't even know what this means because he's not invincible to range attacks. So we got Goku here do basic Heat Blast. Alright, that's stand heavy got counter hit. That's crouch heavy they got counter hit. And that's my jumping heavy got counter hit. Now right there where the ki blast bounces off, that is a property of the armor. And everyone who has armor, that works the same way. Like it works like Broly, works with Tien. That is a property of the armor. That's no way invincibility because he's still interacting. So I have no idea what they mean by the invincibility to range attacks because he didn't have it. Unless there's some weird other thing and the wording is completely off. I am not sure what they're talking about, but yeah. You can't get counter hit if a move is invincible. So we'll see what that means maybe when the balance patch hits, but yeah. Overall, I gotta say I'm quite disappointed with this. So, Super Saiyan Vegeta. There's only one change, and it's to the assist, not a shocker. So, for the assist, the duration of the block stun has been lowered. Now, that is block stun only, so the hit, the damage, the usefulness in neutral, and all that, it's all the same as the spin. This, for the most part, is kind of a non-change, because unless the block stun is like cut in half or more, like he does the move and it's blocked and it's just over, this is basically not a big deal in the least, because the block stun is not the reason people use and abuse this move at all. So all the combos you can do with it before, all the domination and neutral you can do with it, it's all the way it's going to be. So we'll wait and see what the block stun's actually going to be, because maybe if it's like one hit and he stops immediately, well, that's going to be a thing. But for the most part, this move is every bit the dominant move it's going to be, and still will remain that way. Now for adult Gohan. First up, it says here, modified the property of his down light attack to match with other light attacks. Because if you're not aware, this move is straight up bugged. Normally light attacks have increased scaling. This move does not, as it stands. So if you start a combo with this, you're going to be doing way more damage than you should be with a light attack normally. So that has been changed. Now also modified his heavy version of the ultimate mid-air back attack, and that's this guy right here. So it no longer causes true hard knockdown. This sucks for him, but it's nowhere near a game breaker, as he's got so many other options to work with, versus it being a completely crippling factor for Android 16. Also, reduce the frame advantage of Gohan's heavy machine gun kick, that is, when it's blocked by any opponent. So, the old machine gun block loops probably going the way of the dodo. They don't specify how much, but we'll see. Now, we also got some other changes here, which were accidentally put in Teen Gohan section. Fixed an issue where the effect was out of sync during his jet upper and assist. I'm assuming that's just a sound or an audio-visual component. And fixed an issue where the character's appearances become strange when they're falling from Son Gohan's hits an opponent high up in the air with his ground version of the ultimate back attack. Now, the wording on that one's a bit weird, especially because he used the term strange, so I'm not sure what they mean, but once again, just a bug fix. Kid Buu fixed an issue where Kid Buu's candy beam sometimes hit an opponent several times. I've actually never seen that one, but that'd be pretty funny if true. I guess that one's going away. And made a modification Kid Buu's Pearl Flash, that's his aerial super, so that the damage scaling of super attacks is now applied. So did not scale correctly and did more damage than it should. So now it's just going to be changed a little bit. Now Android 21 is a bunch of bug fixes. If you're wondering about some of the infinites or weird damage scaling stuff, that is covered in the other section of the patch notes. So first up here, Android 21 fixed an issue with the move property of Android 21's Solar Flare, which becomes available after absorbing an opponent's who isn't... What? Fixed an issue where the move property of Android 21's Solar Flare, which becomes available after absorbing an opponent's isn't ranged... Patch... Once again, Arc System patch notes, folks. I don't even know. Android 21's total detonation ball has been adjusted so it now disappears when it hits Broly's power shell. That's his anti-projectile move. So it's just an animation bug fix there. Fixed an issue where a sound effect is not played when Android 21 executes a mid-air version of her special move, Sticky Energy Blast. So it's an audio kind of glitch. And fixed an issue where Android 21's hurt box isn't consistent depending on which mid-air damage motion is triggered. So these are all bug fixes once again for like stuff like her stand key blast into weird damage scaling bugs. That's in the other section of the patch notes. So for Teen Gohan here, definitely a bit of a disappointment. We assumed that he'd get any kind of buffs, but instead it's just bug fixes. Specifically here, fix an issue where the wrong down state is applied to a character getting hit by a medium version of his flying kick. and fix the timing of his 5-hit combo when it disappears. So that's kind of it. I really would have thought it'd been some kind of buffs, but I guess we gotta wait for the next patch. For Gotenks, fixed an issue where the hitbox of Gotenks' assist remains even after he's left the screen. So that is a bug fix. Fixed an issue where Gotenks' jumping heavy attack can put an opponent in a sliding knockdown state in a different timing than the other characters. That one I was not actually aware of, huh? That's kind of interesting, but I guess that's going away. And fixed an issue where Gotenks' assist can forcibly put an already mid-air opponent back on the ground. So this was kind of the basic of like the Sonic Fox restand, if you're not aware of that. And it was a bit much in my opinion. So that is going the way of the dodo. Because I don't got a problem with restands, but if you're already in the air, and this isn't a NetherRealm game, right? NetherRealm's the home of the restand, so I understand why Sonic Fox likes it. But in this game, I did think it was a bit much because you can already get a full combo into a left-right mix-up then death. Cell. Bet you thought Cell was going to be nerfed. No, he is not. So all we got here is his Psychokinesis Crash. That's his unblockable move. It no longer appears behind an opponent character. So I'm assuming what this means is there's a glitch where you can be literally in the corner facing the wrong way and do the move, and it'll hit the opponent anywhere on the screen where they are. It's very unnatural looking, and so that's definitely a bug, and this bug has now been squashed. Now onto Trunks. Fixed an issue where Trunks sometimes does not execute a follow-up attack after hitting an opponent with his Shining Slash. So just a quick little bug fix there. Now as for Goku Black, I bet you thought that down heavy maybe would be changed, but no dice on that one. So it says here, made an adjustment so Goku Black's medium and heavy versions of his dive kick no longer lock down even a knocked out opponent. So honestly, if you know the language of this one, post in the comments below, because I don't even understand this patch note as it's written. Once again, case of Arc System patch notes. So that's it for this video. So all in all, I gotta say I'm honestly slightly disappointed with the patch. They did not go as far as I kind of wish they would go with it. There are some very key changes here, like, you know, damage scaling bug fixes, which is a very good thing, which I think is very good for the health of the game overall. But I just feel like they could have taken more risk with the character balance, because, like, if Tien and Gohan got real buffs or Nappa got real buffs, I don't think nobody would complain. And I'm a bit salty. I'm actually more than a bit salty. Android 16 is my single most played character, and the fact that he's the only one that really got hit with the nerf hammer, and the only character in this whole patch who is like actively falling down the tier list, because now he's like, I'd say lower mid, because he absolutely super needed that left-right mix-up to keep him top tier, and that's the whole reason he was top tier. And he got squashed down, but everyone else is basically unchanged. Like, yeah, Adult Gohan also lost it, but that's like not the whole, that's not the reason you play Adult Gohan. That was just the icing on top of the cake, right? So for 16 to lose that, and like someone for Cell to be completely unchanged, it stings a bit, I'm not gonna lie. This is my personal perspective, but it's my video, so, you know, you gotta deal with it because you're watching me, right? But yeah, I don't like the fact he's the only one who got hit really hard, but it is what it is. I still like the character, I still think he's fun to play, although it just is disappointing. But hopefully, whenever the next patch comes out, and there will obviously be a next patch, this game is very popular, and for good reason, because it's a very good game. I hope they take more risks than they took on this current patch, and there's a bit more change up in the balances, because honestly, as it currently stands, I don't think, especially like tournament composition, is going to change much at all, excepting the addition of the new DLC characters. So we'll see in the future, and hopefully they take more risk in the future, but that is it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.